the last part of this course in results summarization. In this part, we will present the results on a web page using a FLASK web app. The procedure includes 4 steps. In this first step, we will plot the cumulative profit into a line graph, and show the saved image on the HTML page. In the second step, we will make the string for the table we put on the HTML page. For the third step, we will make the string for the whole HTML page, using the products of the first 2 steps. Finally, in the last step, we will build a FLASK web app and put everything in the first 3 steps into a web page. Let's start with the first step of the line graph. The first line puts the data in the lists into a data frame. Let's call it plot.df. Next, we have to change the date to a year-month format in strings. This can be easily changed to date-time type later on. After that, we will set the date column to be in the index column. We can then change the format of the index to be date-time, which can be shown in the horizontal axis of the line graph. Then, use the plot method to get the graph, and fig size argument to set the dimensions. Finally, we can customize the title of the graph, for example, cumulative profit, with the duration. And finally, save the plot in PNG format using the plt.savefig function. The image can be accessed later using static /line_cp.png. The product of the plot is like this. This graph will be presented on the HTML page before the table.
Okay, let's move on to the next step, which is the HTML table. The summary string function includes the HTML table to contain all the data. Each column represents an attribute and each element represents a data point. The header is the attribute names we defined in the summary list. The first thing, we name it return string here, is the string for the HTML codes for the HTML page. The table includes a header row, and remaining rows storing data. We will first make the header in the first row. TR corresponds to a table row, and TH corresponds to a table header.
Next, we will use for loops to fill the table with corresponding data. Again, TR means table row and TD means table data, which is like a cell. The tags with backslashes indicate the end of that row or data cell. After we close the table using the /table tag, we will return the whole HTML table code string. Okay, let's move on to the third step. We will write all the codes for the HTML page. We will first include the head and header line of the page. The HTML content string is the string containing the HTML codes. It contains the title, the headline, and also, we will put the HTML table we made previously into the body of the HTML. It will be the last component of this HTML page. We will place the line graph on the HTML page with reasonable styles on the top. And the table will be placed on the bottom. Last but not least, for the FLASK app step, we will make the program a FLASK web app using these few lines of codes. The HTML page we made will be put on the index page. Remember to use the name application as the system looks for this keyword by default. Just write these lines to build the app. The first line in the word, application, is mandatory. Next, we put the HTML string we made into the index page URL using this line. Finally, the last line runs the app and we've done everything. Congratulations! You have learned everything in this course. Thanks for watching.